Guys, back with another video lesson here. The Rundown AI has a very informative newsletter. I've been subscribing since, I don't know, July of 2024. So what I like to do is I like to subscribe to various newsletters and have those newsletters come in either once a week, once a day to my email. And I create a folder over here in my Gmail or your Outlook, whatever you're using. And then I create a rule for those emails to go directly into the folder. From there, I like to analyze what's happening within those various newsletters, leveraging the strategic action process to figure out what's happening, what new tools are out there, how can I learn them, what are they. I just like to accelerate my learning leveraging ChatGPT. So the rundown is one of those resources that I tap into. Refer back to week one. There was a video titled Key Resources, so that would be a good place to start. But since I just got one of these emails this morning, figured I'd go over just how I view the rundown. Again, this is exactly what it's called, the rundown. It's very quick, it's efficient. I read it for a few different reasons, and I'll just walk you through that. So I do like to read these bullet points. Anything that stands out, I will take a look a little bit further. I don't care about that. I am interested about the Orion Frontier model, but I already know what's happening here. Um, Not interested. Not interested. I'm not interested because I actually have experience with these AI transcripts, so I kind of know some of the dangerous errors, and we've already discussed it here in Future Edge. We just need to really focus in on our messaging, what we're trying to say when we're creating content, and make sure that what we're creating says exactly what we want to say. If it doesn't say what we want to say, it's going to sound weird. It's going to sound AI generated, and it's gonna be confusing. So we're trying to avoid confusion here. One part that I really do like about this is this right here, and I'm going to tell you why. So we're just going to scroll down to these because there's no interesting articles that I want to read. 6 new AI tools and 4 new AI jobs. So one of the hacks that I've discovered along the journey here is, let me scroll all the way down. I do like to pay attention to these trending AI tools. Now, I don't use every single one of them or try every single one of them. I ain't got time for that. But what I do pay attention to in these trending AI tools is just to see what the use cases are. And then I analyze, okay, let's say give Claude the power to view your screen, click and type and execute tasks. This new feature just launched like a week ago with Anthropic's Claude large language model. It's a competitor to ChatGPT. So I say, okay, I'm so deep into ChatGPT and what I'm doing that I'm probably not going to do this right now. But the idea here is what really matters because this is the very beginning of these agentic agents that we're talking about, the AI agents that, if you refer back to the video in level three, if you refer back to the video, future AI models and its implications from week one, you'll see that this is the very beginning of level 3. So I am interested in that. I'm earmarking it to pay attention to it because when OpenAI or ChatGPT launches their model, that's when the green light for me to go and learn and implement that, test it out and whatnot. So I do like that because it's an indicator that we're almost there. So just keep paying attention to that. Not interesting. I'm not interested in that either. I'm already fit. I already know what I'm doing. Not interesting to me. This, however, is convert rough Loom recordings into professional videos. Loom, I guess, I've never used it, but it's a video conference recording tool that I transcribes the conversation. So that Loom tool would be interesting if you have a use case for video transcription. But then it says convert rough Loom recordings into professional videos. Yeah, that would be interesting. That's something I'd earmark here. We're going to call it Lumos. Okay, so now I want to take it over to ChatGPT. And we'll get into this too, actually, since we're here. This was a video from Noam Brown. He's one of the top guys at ChatGPT. He had an hour video. I think that was probably a month ago or something. I haven't analyzed and summarized for high-level insights, so I want to read through this. There's... Okay. So that's interesting way I use the rundown. Secondary, this is something I discovered, new AI job opportunities. So what I started to notice is, let's say this is a different rundown from July of this year. This is like my first one when I came across them. Same sort of thing. But what I like here is I like to use these new AI job opportunities to kind of see where we are in this S curve of adoption based on all the pieces of the puzzle that we currently have that have been identified in week 1 of Future Edge. I paint a picture of what AI is, what ChatGPT is, what Future Edge is, why all of it's important, with some data and statistics to back up where we are in the process of, the S curve of AI adoption, the Gartner hype cycle, nuclear powered AI applications, NVIDIA building out the entire infrastructure for this new AI layers, and the various phases that we're in. We're in the area of, essentially phase 1, where the infrastructure, the global infrastructure for artificial intelligence is being built right now through data centers and whatnot. So because I put all that in context, I understand where we are. So I like to add more information to that thesis. And one of the pieces of information I like to use is this right here. So this was June. And as you can see, head of operations, product manager, research scientist and robotics, DeepMind, software engineer and systems ML. This is Meta, this is Facebook, this is DeepMind, this is Google. So if I'm looking at, this was 6 months ago, the biggest players in the world, largest companies in the world are still hiring these positions. And these positions are essentially the tip of the spear regarding this new AI revolution. Then that tells me that my thesis is still correct, that they're still building out the infrastructure layer. And I know that because of all the information that I gather on a daily basis and I pay attention to it. But this is just a little hack. So I said to myself, okay, that was 6 months ago. Let's see where we are today. And this was social media manager, technical lead manager, web developer, product manager. Okay, so we've shifted a little bit from the scientist, research scientists, and software engineers. We've shifted a little bit to these job opportunities. Okay, that's just one email, but let's just take a look at the last few. Let's say October 24th. Research scientist, software engineer, senior consultant. Okay. We'll just do a couple more. Engineering manager, software engineering. Okay. And we'll just do this one. Machine learning systems engineer. Okay, so we're still very, very early to this. trend, which is good to know. So not only I love the rundown for the trending tools and AI job opportunities. That's pretty much what I use it for. In addition to, there are some interesting things happening here from day to day, like this one. That would be something I would want to read, and I did read it, and I processed it through ChatGPT to give me, high level insights, implications of what this actually means, and how it applies to my business. That's also very interesting. And I've done the research with ChatGPT on this as well. That's easy. I can teach you that. Not interested. Yeah, so this was a very good rundown. I like that. So we're pretty early. And the shift here, what I've noticed, just regarding this, is when I start seeing business development manager or sales or marketing oriented job, mostly business development manager, that's going to be a key indicator that the tides have shifted. And mind you, when that happens, we're still going to be very, very early. Again, we're in year 2 out of 10, 20, 30 years of adoption and growth ahead of us. So we're extremely early enough to where we're deeply involved in ChatGPT and how to use it for our advantage, while the largest companies in the world are still hiring research scientists and software engineers. So congratulations for having the foresight to even be here at this time. Now, the salespeople, that means that the products are the generative applications, the products or services that they've built now are ready to be sold to the general public. We're not there yet. I'm curious to see how long it takes until we get there. When I notice it, I'll let you guys know. But that will be a key indicator that the tides have shifted a little bit. So hope you learned from this video lesson. There's many ways that I gather information, process information, just to give me an idea of what's happening and how I can position myself and my students to win with information asymmetry is essentially what we're creating here. So if you have any questions about this, let me know.